Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Surinder, Surinder, over.
Surinder, has it happened again?
It has, over.
Airdrop incoming.
Crisis averted. Bruce has saved the day with sending us some tea bags for our Amazon wish list. So thank you so much, Bruce. We all know you can't do boat work without a cup of tea. So we're all ready to fit the beam shelf, but we've made a executive decision to take this one out as well, because we've been to the workshop and we've processed all the wood, and our new beam shelf is quite long. So the longer we can put it in, the better it is for obviously using as much wood as we can and not having any waste, but also it allows us to get extra web frames in as well. So let's get that one out.
Well, haven't you painted it?
All the time. Epoxied it instead then.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Just epoxy behind it, help it slip in, seal the wood, glue it. Might even glue the frame a bit to the planks.
Oh.
It's the planks.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of the word then. Right, ready for me to slip it in?
Yes, please, dear.
Okay. You heard that. Bit of consent.
The wood in the hole, you mean?
Are you ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a bit sloppy.
Stick it in the hole.
No. That's it, guide me in.
Okay. Give us a
Bit of a love tap.
yeah.
I haven't got a hammer.
Ah, hold on. Okay. You made a bit of a mess.
Yeah. You know it's right when it all starts to come out the side, don't you?
Better clean it up, hadn't I?
Yeah, get the tissues out.
Now we're ready for the beam shelf.
Yeah. Right, so the keen eyes amongst us will have noticed that this stringer here is poorly, but we're going to be coming back later and putting that stringer in when we do in the aft cabin, because this stringer needs replacing all the way down. So we're going to bring it in. We've not glued this sister to the stringer here, so we're going to join it under there with some nice bolts. Just thought I'd clear that up. Right, let's move on to the beam shelf. Okay, so it's beam shelf time. Exciting. So this is the first piece. Beautiful. There's a slight curve to these pieces, so they'll look a bit gappy, but we're going to pull them all down. Should be fine. Bit of glue between the layers. Go in, that's it. Rotate. Make it high, Simon. That's it. And then down. And then screw it up or glue it up.
that hurts. It's always quite hard sort of going, what's next? Now that we've got the beam shelf to there, we really need to get the web frames in to hold the boat up. But obviously we can't get the web frames in where we haven't got the top beam shelf. But then to get the top beam shelf in, we really need to be working in the aft cabin now, because otherwise we're only putting in a small section. But we don't want to start taking more structure out of the boat. So we can get technically 2 more webs in at the stage that we're in now. So do we do them 2 webs and finish the frames, or do we carry on in to the aft cabin, but then we don't want to keep moving without putting more strength back in? So it's always a big process of, I need to do this before I can do that, I need to do that before I can do that. Right then. But we also now need to laminate up some web frames in 5 pieces. And every single one of our clamps is on the beam shelf. So today, until the beam shelf dries, we can't even laminate up any web frames.
Jam.
Yeah.
Jam.
What?
We're not going to be out of time to do this frame today. And it's below the water line. You haven't disturbed any nails, have you?
No.
I think you're just fine.
Do you want me to stop?
Yeah. Are you taking all that one all the way out though? You taking some more out of it?
Yeah, I've took 3 more out. So I think all the frames that need replacing are all out. Apart from now this bit that I'm getting shouted at, because if I do it, we might sink!
Is that going to be the title of our video?
We're gonna sink!
No.
No. Do you know what though, right? So obviously some of the past 2 episodes have been clickbait. Not clickbait, like the episodes we split up. Well, we did, because we said the first sentence that come out of our mouth was, we're splitting up today, because Simon's working there, now I'm working there. And some people really get annoyed by titles like that. But that video, because the clickbait title, got more views than what we usually get. So it's really, really sad that like clickbaity titles do get more views and do bring more people to the channel. And I know a lot of you hate it, but if I said Gemma just hammers some woods, then the title would be a bit crap, wouldn't it? No one would watch. So we do try and keep our titles so they're not too clickbaity, but obviously relevant to what we're doing. Like I think the last week's episode or the week before was we reach our breaking point, because we literally reached the breaking point of the woods. So yeah, and that actually come from one of our patrons, that title of the video, so thank you so much. You know us, we've just got a bit of a sense of humour and a bit twisted, so. And it is sad that you've got to sort of use catchy titles on YouTube to actually get people to watch your videos. Otherwise we'd have no viewers.
So what would you have called this episode? We're going to call it something boring. What should we call it? Gemma hits wood.
Yeah, go on then. Gemma hits woods.
Okay. But what would you have called this episode? In a really clickbaity way.
And the best one wins, and I will change the title of this video to your suggestion. Actually, or if you don't want it to be clickbait, you can put that suggestion down in the comments too.
What, saying I don't want clickbait?
No, but if there's just a normal title.
Yeah. Why don't we just call it clickbait?
Right, what do you want us to change this episode title to? The comment with the most likes down below will get it changed within first 24 hours.
What happens if it's a swear?
You got come on, keep it a bit PG. Right, come on. What next?
So here it was a few minutes ago, and the generator started making a funny noise. When it went to like maximum RPM, went to rev limit, and then stopped charging. So I went to have a look at it, and this is the noise it's making now. Anyway, I had it running on the bench before, and it was making some proper mechanical noises. I think the engine itself's okay. I think it's the actual generator element. So we're now pretty dead in the water without electricity. And the only other generator we've got is the big DC generator that I made a few years back to put on the boat. Well, we're not quite ready for it on the boat, but now is a really good time to bring it over. So let's go and get it and see how we can get it onto the boat. Right, so we're now at the workshop. So this is the generator we made a long time ago. So it's based on a 2-cylinder Kubota 24Z or something, 248Z. So it's running a 150 amp 28 volt alternator. It's basically a truck alternator via some random bracketry I made a long time ago. So we've got I made an exhaust manifold for it, so that's basically coolant temperature in the manifold, and it comes up here, and the raw water can be introduced there. But at the moment it's running just a normal, it's basically a motorbike radiator through a heat exchanger, because we know like we want to run this when we're in the mud, so we're not necessarily in the water, but when the time comes we can take this off and we can run raw water through it. So it'd be interesting to see if it goes. So I was put on charge. It's been a very long time since we ran it, so it'd be interesting to see if it starts and makes some electricity. So I basically put a sort of cheapo digital dashboard on it. So give it, yeah, put some heater plug or heater plug switch anyway with a buzzer on it, so we know when it's heater plugging. So there's our fuel tank at the moment, so I'll give it a few little pumps just to get fuel up there. So let's press the button and see what happens. Oh, nothing. It's slow, isn't it? It goes though. Alright, so we're currently at 12 volts on the alternator. We'll let it warm up for a minute. Maybe we should have checked the oil. Oh, we're at 74 psi oil pressure. Everything seems to be checking out up to now. Just so remembering about it. I put a lot of effort into this. I think there's about 3 videos of me actually building it, because I think we put pistons in it initially, because that was the original problem with the engine, was it had no compression, but the ring lands had broke. Then we had to mount an alternator. Then we had to figure out how to control the alternator, because we didn't want it to be charging at idle. So then we had to figure out how to control the RPM, which is done through this big sort of servo here, but then there's like a little brain in there. So it'll, if you set the RPM, it will hold the RPM, so no matter what the load is, so if it's charging really hard, it will hold the RPM that you set it at. I'll put an emergency stop, so this can stay in the engine room, the emergency stop. So that's the stop. Put a little warning light on it, in case it's noisy in the engine room, because what I did with this, by accident, I left it in the stop mode, and it burnt out the stop solenoid, so I wanted a buzzer. So you can also stop it on this remote here. This here is going to be up in the midship saloon. So when you press that, you can hear the stop, but it also sets the buzzer off, so you know. So yeah, as I say, we'll put a little buzzer on the heater plug, so you remember to turn them off. But yeah, it's really good. So it should start us up on the button now. And then, so we're making 12 volts. So now electronically, I can basically rev it up. Now it's making 28, 29 volts. So I can now stop it remotely. Right, I think she's perfect. I think we give her a bit of a clean up and get her in the van, then get her over to the boat. So I thought I'd best use the forklift because I did use the little block and tackle, I don't know, a little block thing, but I managed to drop the airboat engine. Don't know if you saw that. So I'm a bit afraid of using that when I'm on my own because as soon as you let go, it just goes. Right, let's take this to Surinder.
So today is the day we get this heavy generator over to the boat. So it's not going to be easy or fun.
But we've got a plan.
We have got a plan.
It's very unusual. Right, hang on a minute. I've just got some sticky stuff on my fingers. 1 second.
You're meant to be doing boat work, do you?
Right, sticky stuff gone. Okay, our plan is to put a chain block up there, inside. And we're going to send the chain block out. So it's going to come on an angle here, into the little boat, connect it to the generator. Gemma's going to pull it up. So then we're going to get the generator to here. And I've actually brought some scales as well. So it might be interesting to see how heavy it is. This would be a good opportunity here to weigh it.
So is that door frame going to be strong enough to take the Jenny?
No. So I went to our local B&Q last night and bought some loads of temporary crappy wood. We're going to build a frame. So the beauty of having a wooden boat, you could just screw things to the floor and the boat in seconds.
I was a bit worried though, is there any pipes and stuff underneath there?
I don't know.
We'll soon find out.
Is that pipe testing screw? No, no pipe there. Nothing ready for any pressure in anyway. Right, is that going to be okay?
It looks like it needs a noose on it.
I was thinking the same, but like I didn't.
But not enough space for your legs to dangle.
Yeah, we'll see if it'll hold the chain block. Okay, straight. Yeah, there's plenty of height there.
Oh, we could put like a little swing on it. You know, like when you're a baby.
It's like a woman for that, isn't it?
Right, are we ready to go and get the generator out of the van? Because the tide's coming in.
Yeah, the water's on its way. Can we still open the door? Yeah, the tides are coming in, so I think what we need to do now is set up some cleats here, because ever since we replaced the deck, we've kind of lost our cleats. So we use a big clamp.
Okay. That's why we left our deck a little bit longer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, we've been saving all the Amazon gift cards that you guys have been sending to us, and we've bought an upgrade for the boat. What have we got, Ty?
We've got a share. Let me just... So...
We got a compressor.
Yeah, because our old compressor, it was pretty poorly and it kept tripping the electrical system and stuff like that. It's probably what caused the generator to blow. No joking. So yeah, we've got a share. Is that how you pronounce it? A share.
It's actually really quiet as well compared to the last one, isn't it?
Quite the editing of it.
It is quiet for the compressor.
It only draws 800 watts, so we've got a small one. Yeah.
And then we've got an air line.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to do a lot of paint spraying as well with that now.
It just opens possibilities up for other tools.
It does, it opens possibilities up for other tools, Simon's just said. Yeah, we've got an air descaler. Stop blowing me off. So yeah, thank you all so much for contributing towards that. That's going to be an amazing help throughout the boat, isn't it?
And this gets you halfway down the bow.
Does
Almost to the other end of the bow, actually. I only know because I took it there the other day.
Yeah, well, we got 9 metres. We're parked in the middle of the boat, so technically you should get down the back and down front. So.
Yeah, I think they count this as part of, this is a metre, the tail, which is unfortunate, but...
You can always add on if we need to.
Yeah.
Still very shallow. Yeah, I can see weeds there. Should be alright there. Get my paddle down. Oh. But a bit too early, it's still very, very shallow. And we haven't got 2 paddles.
No, I've got another one in the van, you know.
Have you? Row, row, row your boat.
I'm flying now.
So we thought we'd come out as soon as we had a bit of water, because obviously it might take us a bit of time to get the generator out of the van and into the boat. So we want to sort of be moving at high water, not sort of after it. We'll get there. We're nearly at the slipway. Oh, I feel like I'm on a boat in Venice.
Right, so now we're going to try an attempt to get this heavy generator of unknown mass into here. Don't know, might go well. It's going okay, it's going good. Right, so how do you rate the progress so far?
That was okay, that went smoother than what I thought. Because obviously it was just like sliding it instead of actually lifting it.
Gravity. Right, so it's precariously balanced on 2 very inexpensive pieces of wood from B&Q, so wasn't my initial plan.
Right, lift the anchor.
The anchor's a bit big. I pulled over a magnet, do you?
All careful, we're going to have a boat crash.
Oh, yeah, we've got insurance.
Nice and slow.
Go slow. Look a bit like low at the front there, Joe. Like...
Heavy load.
Is that because of you or Jenny?
Hey, cheeky.
Jenny. Right, bit windy, bit choppy, it's all good. Right, so something I'm concerned about is everything in life. Just got a mad anxiety, but I'm gonna like lock myself into a panic room. Anyway, no, I'm joking. I'm gonna lift it up, but it's heavy, and at the moment, currently when we're floating, we're actually listing at, I don't know the exact number. Let's go and see on our listometer. At 1 degree. So when we get this engine onto the port side of the boat where it's going to be, it'd be interesting to see if we list any more than 1 degree. Because I think
stability test?
Bit of a stability test, and I think what we need to do is offset some ballast. So we've got some ballast on the port side as well in the engine room. So I think we'll try and get that over.
Okay, so if we get this up now.
Yeah, and then we'll know.
No. If we get this onto the boat now and it's sitting on the port side, and then we stop floating.
Yeah.
Are you worried about us coming down wonky, or should we wait until we float?
No,
we sank?
that's fine. That's fine. That won't influence it. Our big hole.
We're floating again tonight.
We're floating again tonight, so it's fine. Yeah. But I think we just start pulling on chains, don't we? And then lift it up.
I'll attach the change to the generator before we start pulling on them.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's attach it, then pull on them. Gemma's doing the pulling. I'm doing the guiding it in.
Same as usual then.
You got that, oh shit. Right, that was the bit I was nervous about because of the angle of the chain. Are we in? Sort of.
Just need to turn it around.
Oh yeah, you can't let go, can you?
Yeah. I don't know who had the hardest job there, you know. It wasn't easy.
I think we both had a difficult job, and I think you did pretty well there.
But look, it's in. Woo! Still needs to go like one floor below.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. Should we weigh it?
So whilst the generator is sat there on the port side, I thought we'll have a look at our linometer. We've got 1.5 degrees.
$116 kilograms.
I don't know if it was completely airborne then, but... Right, so now we've weighed it, we now need to get it down this flight of stairs. So we've set our chain block up. We went to a tool shop the other day, and then Gemma...
Simon said, you can have anything that you want.
So she's got a handbag-sized crowbar.
I actually bought two, because they were that cheap.
They were like £6 or something like that.
I bought a little one and a big one. This is my big one.
Yeah. So we've got to move this closer to the stairs. Go on, Gem. She just needs a lesson in using it. No. Turn it around in your hand. Right, that's it. Put it under it. Oh, look at that. Come on, get it closer.
Oh, bugger.
What?
It's a long way down, isn't it?
Come on, well, let's get it close. Because I don't want to pull on that angle there, because it could pull it over. So I want to get it closer.
So the only issue you've got now is our chain block is broke. So, you know, like usually you can just let go of it. You can't let go of ours, so... What?
Yeah, go on.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got that, so it's going to like swing out now. It's a lock now, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're on a power rationing at the moment, so we're going to have to put the lights back on.
Oh, better hurry up and get that Jenny installed.
I know, yeah, because we are actually in trouble, really. We're dead in the water.
This is the bit I'm not looking forward to now. How are we getting it over there? So we're going to try and use the same method we did getting it from the van to the boat, putting it on some skids and seesawing it down that way.
Right, wheel it round, Jem. Yeah, it's going to have to come that way into it, so.
Right, we're coming off the trolley now.
Oh, the fucking fingers gone. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Woo! It's a tight space. Right, we're right.
So I don't know how good this eye is here, look.
Right.
So all we're trying to do off this eye is just turn it. So we're on the oven.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Snag there we go.
Give us the bar. We've got this down here and obviously we don't want to hit it, so we need to go up now and sort of over it.
Jesus. Okay. Really fast, isn't it? Ratchet straps are actually really good for manoeuvring heavy items because they're very slow and controlled. You can just reset them. The only issue with them is you can't lower anything. Well, you can. It's pretty quick. Right, I don't think we move it too far because we've got to figure out where it's going, haven't we? Right, that's our next set of problems.
Can I just stay there?
Leave it there. Not sure if you can see this, but we're having power issues. Time is of the essence to get this generator running. Right, so it's in its semi-final location. I'm not going to quite fix it down or work out the brackets yet, just in case I need to move it because the exhaust routing and stuff like that, but okay, fits quite nice there.
So while Simon gets the generator all plumbed in, I'm getting ready for the next job, so I'm going to laminate up some web frames.
Right, she's on a temporary base now. I definitely would not go to sea with this generator mounted up like this, but it's going to work quite well there, I think. Right, I put all the electrics and stuff you saw us take off early on in this episode, which was yesterday for me. What we need to do now is look into the exhaust. But you're wondering how we're going to exhaust this dirty diesel. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it out the window. So I made this ages ago because this generator was meant to come over ages ago, but we never got around to it. So that is going to replace the window. So as you can see, I've made it so the heat doesn't really transfer through into this. This is actually stainless steel, this plate. So the exhaust can go there, fire off outside. The original silencer fits on this tube, so we can silence it. And I've also mounted some barbs, or made some barbs. So eventually we could actually put the radiator outside. But I think the radiator being inside the engine room would be beneficial throughout the winter, wouldn't it? Because it'll just radiate heat. You mean? Perfect. Right, so I think this is our next job. What? No.
Hold on to the window.
Yeah. On window. Ha ha ha. So. Good. Right, I'll just put the massive side pipes on it. Check that out. Whoa. Chrome tips and everything. Right, let's go inside and do some more exhaust plumbing. So, new exhaust window. Now then, we've got our big flexible exhaust pipey thing. Oh, check that out. Bit sloppy. Might blow a bit, but. And then this end is then going to go onto there. Yes. So currently all I've got is these like old school exhaust bolt view things. This is actually stainless as well, I think. Okay, so we now have a cooling system. Bit bodgy, but hey, get a bit low on the old percentages. Right, we now need to figure out the fuel system. I was going to plumb it into the main tanks, but that's a job for another day. That. So I think we'll just use our little temporary tank we had running in the workshop. But as well, we can actually monitor fuel consumption then, can't we, quite easily? So, fuel system it is. We think this looks high quality diesel because this diesel originally came out of our other boat, Butari. It's compulsory you do this.
Is it? Is that what you do when you're having a wee? Spill it?
So on the maximum. The pan's a bit of a shake. Oh, do that. So what percentage do you mix this to? 75, 25?
No, 50-50. I'd guess.
Is that still the going rate? Because I haven't like been in the motor trade for like ever, years. You're supposed to be 50-50.
Well, that's what it's getting.
That's what it's got, isn't it? Maybe we should have read the tin.
Tesco water.
Really? Don't drink if it's got antifreeze in it.
At the end of last week when I said something exciting was going to happen this week, it wasn't the generator. What we'd planned to do is start ripping out the cabins on the port side to assess the woodwork down aft on the port side. So obviously the time spent with the generator has sort of put that one to bed. So yeah, this wasn't the exciting thing. Still exciting though, isn't it, to actually finally get this generator over after it being sat in the workshop for so long.
And what's more exciting, we're actually just about to fire it up.
Right, is it nearly ready?
I don't know. Right, we need to have a quick...
So the emergency stop's in a bit of a stupid place, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got oil, we've got water.
We've got coolant.
Let's put that somewhere safe so it doesn't roll into the battery terminals.
Right.
I don't know. Ignition. Heater plugs are, yeah, heater plugs are on. So the air coming out of it. Sounds quieter in here. That exhaust is going to smell at some point.
now.
What are any voltage numbers?
12.4,
What's your one?
12.6,
Is there two lots of numbers?
23.9.
Okay, that's reading the house factories. So now in theory, let's check your water first. Pushing
129 amp, nearly 4,000 watt.
What voltage? 28.9. Yeah?
Yeah.
Going well. 129 amps, did you say?
Yep.
That's really good. It's not really good, it's 150 amp alternator, but for it to actually make close to its target, and as well we haven't got our volt sense on yet, so it's only measuring the voltage out the alternator rather than out the battery, so I think that'll boost it a bit as well.
What's your problem now?
We've got a slight problem. This is the hardest it's ever run in its whole life because we've never been able to load it up, and we've just been able to load it up with our however many amp hours of look, Gemma's just put it across there, of batteries, and we've just, it's in such an awful place now. It was nice in the workshop, I could show you around there, couldn't I? But on top I set up like a bleed to get the air out of the cooling system, and then I put the same sort of setup on the exhaust, so that's like, and I remember bodging that years ago thinking, oh, make a new one. I'll just put it in there and I think I super glued it.
So it's just blew its lid?
It's just popped its thing. I don't think it actually needs it, but I'm always a bit paranoid about getting air in cooling systems. Yeah, so I think we might just glue it on again. Might try a bit of epoxy this time, but we'll have to leave that to go off, won't we?
Or can use a better fitting and Jubilee clip it together? Or...
The reality is, we could actually just run that pipe straight from the top of here, because that'll bleed that side of it, then straight to the header tank, and we don't really need one there, so if we could find a piece of pipe to link across, then I think would be good. We'll have a quick think. But yeah, as far as running is concerned, it's a bit sluggish on the start. I can imagine it's smoking a lot outside, as in when it first hits the batteries and has to get up to RPM, but there's no belt slippage, nothing. It's great. Right then, so I've replaced this pipe now with a piece of scrap pipe for heater hose, which actually has an air bleed on it, and we've replaced this top hose there to get rid of the little T-piece at the top. That was just going to be a weak link. Right, let's fire her up. I've also brought some exhaust wrap, but we'll do that later. Let's fire up so we can give it a nice long run. Ignition on, heater plugs are on. Quick pump. We've been running now for 19 minutes, pretty much flat out all the time. Been making about 100 amps. I can turn it up and turn it down. Coolant temperature staying great, regulated, going good. The alternator's cool, well not cool, but I can hold my hand on it. So we're currently pushing 121 amps. It was 57.
No, it was higher than that.
64. Still sounds like we've got a mini digger, doesn't it, downstairs? Obviously it's not in the right place at the moment, but we're going to be moving it to where the Victron unit is, so then we can box it in and make a nice cabinet for it.
But for the size of it,
and it's churning away, it's making some power like.
62.
Yeah, but what I might do now is bring the RPM down. I don't think it needs to be revving so high. I don't quite know how to work out how high we have to rev it. Is it until the power starts to drop off? I don't know, I might make a phone call.
But if that massive generator is actually producing less noise than the smaller one we had, for what we're getting out of it, I had a look then and it was giving like 3,000 watt into the batteries, the ways we were only ever putting half that in with the other generator. Quite good. So while Simon's messing around with the generator, I'm sanding away. So I'm just sanding the beam that I laminated and the beam shelf downstairs.
Right, it's been running for well over an hour. Batteries are pretty much up there. It's like a sledgehammer to the batteries this compared to the old Jenny. Right, problems. So we've got a bit of a exhaust leak up here. That's fine. It blows a tiny bit there as well. My belt on the alternator is right on the end. Well, the alternator is right on the end of the limits, so I think the belt could do with being like a size down, so I need to order a belt. When it starts getting hot, then you come on and offload, it'll start to slip the belt. Cooling system. The fan won't turn off, if that makes any sense. It'll hold temperature when it's running flat out, but it won't overcool it, does that make sense? So then the thermostat will come in and out. It's just basically sitting on the thermostat, so might have to look into a bigger radiator. I think this is only like a little motorbike radiator, and considering where we are, we're actually inside an engine room, so it's just circulating warmer air, isn't it? So I think I might look into a bigger rad. Apart from that, it's going really well. So we've got this exhaust wrap stuff. I don't know, it's all shiny and pretty, very motorsport. I've seen people in the past put it on wet. I don't know if it expands it when it's wet, and then when it dries it'll shrink and pull nice and tight, but getting it wet can't do any harm, can it? So let's wet it. I will leave that to soak for a little bit. Should we see what Gemma's up to? And I might have to try and persuade Gemma to help me wrap it round. What do you think?
Just hitting stuff.
Just hitting stuff.
Look at my lovely sanded beam shelf.
What have you done to it? Whoa, you got a varnisher?
Yeah, I just need to take the support off the roof to get a plug in there. But I'm scared it's all going to fall on my head.
Got help?
Yeah.
So if I help you, will you come and help me in a minute and do some wrapping?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not M&M though.
You're very good at wrapping. Is it wet?
Yeah, why did you make it wet and freezing like when it's freezing? Just finished having a wee.
Because I saw on the internet.
Don't believe everything you watch on the internet. How much of it overlaps you want it? Like 50-50?
I'll probably say at the beginning, but you can probably sort of thin it out a bit. I'll just put a cable down it for now, that's not going to stay there, don't panic. Right, so shall I hold this out? Do you want me to do that bit? Are you okay? Or? It's a woman's touch, this, isn't it? Oh, I know, why don't I turn it? Is that better?
Yeah. Hold on. Oh no!
It almost drops in the water.
I almost got it wet.
A little bit of half gone off exhaust paste, had to burst the end of it, but still comes out. smear. We'll leave it on a low idle for a bit to heat up the exhaust paste so it goes to the solid. Definitely drying out now.
It is lovely and warm in the engine room, which is great in the winter for us, but obviously it's not great for the engine because the radiator that we're cooling it is there. So I've just said to Simon, can we not get rid of this radiator and plumb the generator into an actual radiator upstairs so we can use that warmth that the generator produces, but also have a bigger radiator to help with the cooling of the generator? Is it possible?
Yeah, has anybody else ever done that? Obviously the pipes are quite small, I'm not sure how much it will flow. Does it need to flow that much? Does it need a little engine?
Obviously the generator at the minute is just in a temporary location.
Yeah, so yeah, when it goes into its final location, it definitely needs to be connected to the heating system, so you can do it with a heat exchanger. But I was saying to Gemma, the incoming water from the boiler is like 90 odd degrees, so that's not going to cool it.
This generator will eventually be raw water cooled.
Oh yeah.
So obviously we don't get water all the time at the boats at the minute, so that's why we're using the internals of the cooling system with the radiator and the fan. So the cooling system, when we are floating and it's plumbed into raw water, won't be an issue.
No.
But it's just keeping it cool enough when we're here sat on the mud for the minute.
Yeah. And we have got belt slippage issues. The belt, I mean, it's done probably an hour or two's running now, and the belt's definitely worn in, so it's worn into its slackness. So I need to take a note on what belt we've got now, and then try and find the next size down, or maybe buy a couple of only small belts. So because I have a few spares as well, once.
Yes, and also we are going to do a log for the generator, so we know when it needs servicing and parts replacing and stuff like that.
And I think it's missing as well as a high temperature alarm.
Yes.
So we need an alarm on it.
And an hour meter.
And an hour meter, that's a good idea.
So we know actually how long it's run for, to know when we need to do the servicing on it. I'm well impressed, considering that generator used to be an old road sweeper that you've converted.
Yeah, I don't know how long you've been watching us, but yeah, we did look at a few videos on this, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
that was literally back in the first
year. Can you put a link on like the thingy?
So if you want to see the first videos of the generator build, they are back there, or go back in the catalogue.
Yeah. Right, because we put a very heavy generator over there. What was it, 116 kilos you used there?
Yeah, we reckon it was heavier though.
I think it was heavier because I don't know. We haven't looked at the footage yet anyway, but we didn't do a very good job of measuring it, put it that way. Anyway, because we put all that weight over there, we're actually leaning a bit. So we're going to see what it says on the Lino meter. So because we are floating, we've got 1.5 degrees of list. So I think what we could do with doing is trying to move some weight to the starboard side. So let's go see what we can shuft you over.
He said that I just need to stand on the starboard side the whole time. But I'd like to go home at some point, so instead, should we go move some ballast? Moving ballast is definitely one of my least favourite jobs on the boat. Never even touched down there, have we?
No, there's a lead one there as well.
Oh, I like that one. Can't move it though. So we need to move this ballast from here, through here, across the wobbly floor, and we're going to put it there. It's a long way to go, that, look.
Have you done it?
No.
It's not a long way to go because it is so difficult to get out. That's the... along there is the only place we haven't removed the ballast. All down there we've removed it. Everywhere else, that's the last bit of ballast that's not in our bags anyway.
So when we say we've removed it, a lot of people do get confused thinking we've took all the ballast off the boat, but we don't. We just like shuffle it round. So it goes in one hole into another, and then oh, we need to work it out, let's move it again. And so no ballast has actually been took off the boat ever because it's too heavy.
Do you want to explain the problem about why it's difficult to get it out?
Because it's like just random bags of is the technical word slag?
Depends what you're talking about.
No, you know what I mean, like metal slag.
No, it's shot.
Shot. Where am I getting slag from? where am I getting it from?
Have you?
Like a slag pile.
Where have you heard that word before? Can you? In what context was
like
the
a
word?
slag pile. Or like, I'm sure. Like,
yeah, there is. Yeah.
come on.
After the smelting process of
Yeah.
iron or something like that, on
Yeah.
the top you get
All the slag.
all the gross or whatever it's called, slag, so you get rid of it. No, that's not slag.
Oh, okay.
It's iron shot. It's very fine sort of iron. Anyway.
Well, it's nasty like
But-
slag.
But the issue with it is because it's open technically to the elements. It's
rusts.
corroded and expanded.
So it's hard to get out.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it went in loose, and now it's one big mass.
My new wrecking bar might help.
Yep. Okay.
Got one loose, I just can't lift the bleeding 40 kilograms. And on. You bend with your back, don't you? Lift with your back.
Yeah, you have to jerk with your
Oh,
back.
jerk it. It's stuck onto the bleeding knee. Go on, you do that. You're good at pulling.
I'm
Slag.
gonna pull in slag. Oh, you.
Oh, you!
Come on. Did it.
Woohoo!
Last time I heard you making noises like that was the morning after the Indian. Go on, girl. Oh, he's in two.
They're just so slippy.
There's slime on it.
Right, I've got them halfway. Simon can take them the other half.
Oh, I've got a quick question about this bilge. Can I have a quick look?
Let's clean it.
I think so, yeah.
We're not going to fit many down there,
No.
but I need to clean that. Right, get me bucket.
At least it's dry down there. As far as your bilge, Jem.
Cleaner than it was, not as clean as it should be. But all the ballast that we put here will soon need to be took out to paint it and paint all of this, so that'll do for now. It's also got the energy for.
You won't believe it, we're currently in the middle of a storm. I think it's like gusting at what, 30? 30 miles?
40, yes.
Gusting at 40 miles per hour. Occasionally you feel the boat just move a tiny little bit, but you can hear it more than you can feel it. Heading for this one here. There we go. Kind of fits itself.
These ones won't come out, and it's all loose shot
Slag.
So look, it's all like little pellets.
Oh, shiny.
So the only option to get this out is to hoover it out, because it's just rusted and swelled that much. So.
And from previous experience, if you start trying to do it, it all just ends up in the bilge, so you may as well suck it from the top. When you get all of the stringy bits, it drags out your hand. Doesn't it?
Yes, that's one. But unfortunately there's still that big one, and there was one underneath it. Last one. Go on, you can do it.
Can't get hold.
I know, it's horrible, isn't it? You need to hold it like a fat baby. Should I have gloves on?
Gloves getting your way.
So this is what a bilge looks like that hasn't been touched or seen for about 40 odd years. It's as clean as we're getting it for now.
What sort of conditions it in then?
It looks, well, the woodwork's perfect.
That's what we like. We don't like poorly woodwork, do we?
So you full over there?
Yeah, filled up. Floor's back, soles back down.
Cool, should we go and see what we're listing at now?
Okay.
Oh no. We need to move it all back over.
Well, actually, I think we've actually come down a bit funny, because we have to land in our hole, don't we? But because we've had a bit of wind, it's been coming slightly off the starboard bow, so that's pushed us over to the port side, and then when we land, we go down a tiny bit crooked sometimes, so we didn't actually get a proper reading when we were floating.
We did, it was like 1.5.
Yeah, it was 1.5, but then we've moved all the ballast over, so we didn't get a reading afterwards, so we'll have to wait till the next time we're floating to see if we've got an even keel or not.
There you go. We were going to end this video on a lovely drone shot.
Yeah.
But it's too windy.
In the dark, yeah. Why don't you just give him an old one?
Just get our faces instead. So yeah, that was a hard episode. Obviously there's a lot of heavy lifting with the ballast, with the generator. So yeah, not what we expected to be doing this week, but
yeah,
it's one of them, isn't it? It's life. It's unforeseen things that just pop up, but we dealt with it.
I've been dying to get the generator over for a long time, because you can only probably test it when it's got something to load it up with. We've just loaded it up proper with them big batteries, you know.
So yeah, we've just got loads of alterations we need to do to the electrical system, so we need to start researching the best way to go, because we do want to increase our solar capacity as well in the summer, because
even in the summer we sort of run out of power sometimes now, because we're using more tools and hammering it.
Yeah, but I think if we're going to invest in loads of solar panels, I want to future proof it, so I don't just want to buy crappy panels and stick them on the roof. It'd be nice the nice roof that we've done, even though it's cleaning, we're going to eventually put the flybridge back up there, but in front of the flybridge there's loads of space. So I'd like to look at what are the best solar panels we can get that maybe we can walk on.
Yeah. 'Cause you need to keep every square foot walkable, don't you, on the boat? I know it's a big boat, but
Yeah.
you don't have to like.
So if anyone's got any recommendations, because them type of solar panels are quite new for us. We've never used like walkable, boaty solar panels.
As well, what will annoy me, because the big boats are curvy, aren't they? I hate seeing square panels on boats.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'd love to cover the whole roof of them, but then be in the shape.
Yeah, I don't think
cover
that's
the whole
gonna
roof,
happen,
but
is it?
yeah.
We might have to do like a small panel, just to make it look like we made an effort. And
Yeah. So if you've got any recommendations on solar panels to use, drop them in the comments, because that would be really, really helpful.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
I've got a question.
Oh,
Because these are quite knowledgeable people.
yeah.
We've got a 3,000 watt Victron inverter at the moment.
Mhm.
I know you can daisy chain them. So
You can have a
basically,
slave and a master.
yeah, so like you can basically link them together. Does it have to be a 3,000 watt multiplus? Or can you go bigger?
Could you mean, can you have a 3,000 with a 5,000?
Yes.
Or if we've got 3,000 now, if we've got as a master, does the slave have to be 3,000?
Yeah, we don't know. And I've tried to do some research and I couldn't find
If
much.
anyone from Victron is watching, give us a call.
Yeah.
We need some advice.
Yeah,
So, yeah, right then, we're going to leave it there because we've got to go home now and do a lot of research.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you've got any good ideas for the generator as well, anything that I've overlooked, it's working, I'll say.
That is the most the batteries have ever been charged.
Yeah, it's the most hit they've had, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, but at the moment our belt's squealing and I can't hit it that hard at the moment.
Do you want to play the tights?
Prototypes, yeah.
Anyone ever done that?
Yeah, if I've overlooked anything, let us know that we can. I'm going to be putting a high temperature alarm that'll buzz up here if it gets hot, because I've been standing near it, it's been a bit wary, but it's a bit new in it. So anyway,
and the radiator issue, we need to.
Yeah, we might be able to put a bigger rad on it, but we can move the bigger rad up here with the fan, just the same system.
Anyway.
Sort of waffling on. So thanks for watching.
See you all next week.